All right, how's it going, YouTube? My name is Brandon.
I'm Nick Wallace.
This is Pigskin Politics. We're a new channel designed to talk about football, and today the topic is overrated teams, and we're going to start off by talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 2019 season. Now, the new season's coming up. Everyone's excited about that. I love hype, but it gets a little bit too much for certain teams, and I'd say the Steelers are getting a stupid amount, and I'd like to address that today.
Steelers are overrated. And when I say overrated for the Steelers, one would think the definition of overrated it means like someone thinks you're going to be a playoff team, but you're really not. I don't think the Steelers suck. I don't think they're a bad team. But however, when I say they're overrated, people think they're a 13-3, 14-2 Super Bowl winning team. I don't think they're that good.
Yeah, I kind of see that myself. I've heard a lot where it's basically assumed they're winning the AFC North, and at worst predictions I've seen they're winning 11 games, and I don't think the Steelers can pull that off. Mainly they lost their two best players. They went 9-6-1 last year, and people seem to think they'll get better, and I think that's a bit crazy.
That's crazy. Not only that entire division has gotten so much better with the Ravens winning it last year. The Browns are an up-and-coming team. Mm-hmm. Whoever wins that division will probably only be a 10-win team, and all three of those teams will be within 2 games of each other. Yep. But I don't see a clear winner pulling away 4 or 5 games away from the next person in that division. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But you're talking about talent lost, they lost Antonio Brown. But people act like they're going to be better without Antonio Brown, and I don't see that happening considering I got his stats right here, and this guy is a monster. I don't get how you could lose this person and think that you're better with just Juju.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been saying that, like, Juju is going to be the new number one. He's going to be better than Brown. Yeah, his numbers were great last year, but he wasn't a number one receiver. He was the number one because Antonio Brown is a generational talent, and he demands a double team. Therefore, it's very easy, or much easier, for him to get open and get the lion's share of the yards and touchdowns. Because Antonio Brown, it's necessary. You devote your defense around him. With Antonio Brown, Juju's still great. He's an awesome player. But can he do that again twice? I doubt it. I don't see it.
I don't think so, man. Considering, like, Antonio Brown, his average for a season is around 1,500 yards. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. Last year, he had 15 touchdowns that Roethlisberger threw to him. You're not losing someone like that and replacing him easily, especially the next person up on that list after Juju now this year looks like James Washington at 16 receptions, 217 yards. The guy that came from the Jags, Dante Moncrief, had 48 receptions, 668 yards. And then rookie Deontay Johnson, and then a few other guys that didn't have anywhere the production that Juju or Antonio Brown provided.
So their next highest production is a trade from the Jags, who came over with 600-ish yards. And Brown's gone, and you expect Juju to just cover that? I don't know.
Juju was good because Antonio Brown was on the field with him and allowed him to be good.
Absolutely, and I think Juju's still great. It's just I'd like to see him do it again.
Rapping on Juju. I'm not saying he's a bad wide receiver. I'm just saying when you have 2 really good generational guys on the field, it's hard to defend. So when you lose one of those guys, your offense is going to take a dip. You got to find a way to replace that 1,300 yards he had last year.
Right. Speaking of, the other player they lost, Le'Veon Bell, and
they did fine with James Conner.
Yeah, but they didn't do Le'Veon Bell fine.
No. James Conner, 973 rushing yards, 497 receiving yards, which is fine.
Yeah, it's good. But
Le'Veon Bell's a lot better. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro.
Le'Veon Bell consistently got over 1,400 yards, I want to say, 4 different seasons. He's a powerhouse. And now that's getting replaced by basically a watered-down Le'Veon Bell. And you're going to see a drop-off there, plain and simple.
Of course.
And heck, the Steelers didn't have Bell last year, and they missed the playoffs by half a game. I got to say that.
Looking at this, Le'Veon Bell in the years 2014, 16, and 17, he had almost 1,300 rushing yards every year and over 600 receiving yards. nearly 2,000 yards total every year. You're not losing guys like this and just getting better somehow.
No, that's a hard thing to replace.
We saw your preview of the offense against the Bengals in Week 17 last year. It was a must-win game for you guys.
No
against
bell,
the
no bro.
32nd ranked defense in the Bengals, and they put up 16 points.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
I don't think they're good.
Granted, that's a divisional game. They're a little weird, but that kind of speaks to a lot. The Steelers kind of have a problem with needing to win games, and then they don't. In fact, if I had to pick any reason they didn't go to the playoffs last year, they choked a lot of games they definitely should have won. They lost a game against the Chargers. They blew a 16-point halftime lead. Fine, Chargers are a great team. But they blew a game to the Broncos, and they blew a game to the Raiders, and that's honestly pathetic if you ask me.
Steelers are a weird team. They always play down to their opponents. They'll play a good team good and a bad team bad. And last year they played bad teams bad, and that's what made them miss the playoffs.
Beat the Steelers, almost beat the Saints in New Orleans, but they lost the Raiders, lost the Broncos, and those were also must-win games.
This year there's trap games all over the schedule for these guys, and they fall for them all the time.
Right. They blew a 7-2-1 start last year.
7-2-1.
And this year, yeah, granted it looks like an easy schedule, but it's trap game galore. You got the Dolphins, you got to play the Jets, the Bills, the Niners, the Cardinals, either Bengal game, because I think they're not going to be very good. That's
trap game galore.
Any of those. And then there's also the good games they got to play, like the Ravens twice, Browns twice, Rams, Seahawks. It's honestly stacked against them, and I don't understand where the 11-win idea is coming in. I don't like it.
I could see them going 9-10 wins again. I mean, I could see
if they're lucky.
They can make the playoffs again. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think they're going to be dominant first seed. Competing with Kansas City or the Chargers. Good. They're not going to be the Patriots. Good.
No.
For all I know, they could beat the Patriots and then come home and lose to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's how they are.
Yeah. So basically, that's, I guess, the point of this whole video. I think the Steelers are fine. I honestly, personally, don't think they're making the playoffs, and I think there's a lot of hype surrounding them. They're a very loud team right now. They'd be a good team on Hard Knocks, but yeah. I just don't get as much hype, and I don't think enough people are bringing to light the problems that they have. But
their defense was fine. I'm just attacking their offense mainly.
Right, they had the number 1 O-line, they had a good defense, and they still missed the playoffs, and then reasonably all those things dropped a bit. So we'll see what they are. We've been talking about them now for, I'd say, about 8 minutes, so I'd say we should wrap this up.
Let us know in the comments below if you guys have any ideas for a new football video, and we'll keep putting them out here. This is just an experiment, but if it goes well, we'll keep posting videos.
And right now, the next video looks like it's going to be overrated the Jets. I'm looking forward to that one. But
Jets are overrated.
Absolutely.
We'll tell you why.
Cool. And with that, Coop.
See you next time.